the Great Barrier Reef. I've just done my first dive. I'm diving with Cairns Dive School, which is pretty much the cheapest diving that you can do out of Cairns, which is pretty cool. So I'm kind of surrounded by backpackers. There's quite a sort of chilled out atmosphere on the boat, which is really cool. This is like the nicest dive boat I think I've ever been on. If you've watched any of my other challenge videos, they've all been in Asia, so they've all been on these little rickety boats, so it's a bit of a difference. This one can house up to about 35 people I think, but there's actually only me diving today, which is a bit strange. A lot of the diving on the Great Barrier Reef is on liverboards, so this company also has a liverboard boat where you can sort of go for three days, 2 nights, but I'm only in Cairns for 2 days, so this is kind of the option I went for. So the reef was really pretty actually. I went down to about 22 metres, saw about 4 reef sharks, which is cool, and we've just sort of moved a little bit along. We're not much further away from the last dive site, and we're just about to go in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my camera down there, so I'm going to do some filming, because we're only going down to about 10 metres, so I can take my still camera down and do some filming on that, which is cool. So hopefully you can see a bit of the Great Barrier Reef. I don't know, I've heard from a lot of people that it's actually just as good to snorkel as it is to dive, and the guys on the boat who are all snorkeling have really enjoyed themselves. I don't think they feel like they're losing out at all not diving. I'll see if I can do some snorkeling once I come up too, and just so you can compare the footage and see what you think. I mean, it is really good fun. It's a lot more expensive than scuba diving in Asia. I think I hadn't realised quite how cheaply I was scuba diving over there, and this was literally the cheapest package I could find, and it's cost me about £75 for the day for just 2 dives. We did come out about an hour and a half away from Cairns on the boat, and obviously there's a journey back too. You know, it's really pretty. The only thing I would say is I'm in the Australian summer, and I don't know if you can see, it's not really all that sunny at all. It was really sunny this morning, and then while we've been under the water, the sun seems to have gone in a bit, which is a bit of a shame. But it's nice and warm, so I'm just warming up, and I'm about to go in, so hopefully I shall see you under the water. See you in a bit. Visibility under the water was really good, and as you can see the coral is really diverse and the reef is massive. There are loads and loads of different types of coral, and unfortunately the camera can't record the different colours, but there's some beautiful coral down there. I have to admit I wasn't overly impressed by the wildlife I saw down there, and there were very small fish that I've seen on reefs all around the world, but there was nothing that particularly stood out. I did see those couple of reef sharks on the first dive, but other than that, that was about the only big stuff that I saw, which obviously you can't really complain, because I have done a lot of diving where you barely even see one fish, and there are loads and loads of little fish down in the coral, but it is nice sometimes to see some bigger things like turtles. If you're looking to do some diving out of Cairns, then I would definitely recommend the Cairns Dive Centre. They were really professional. I basically got one-on-one diving, which was awesome, and it's really nice when the dive schools do things like change your air for you and set up your BCD. When you feel like a client, when you're paying that much money, it's quite nice to have those things done for you. Whereas I have been to other dive schools around Australia since filming this, where I had to do a lot more stuff myself for an equivalent amount of money. So it was really good value for money. And in addition to the dive, I also got to experience some extra treatment from the dive school. This is the skipper of the boat I was on, who found out that I had a camera under the water and decided to give me some extra value for money. In case you can't tell, he is completely naked, apart from a stinger suit protecting his manhood. He is carrying a pirate flag and breathing directly from an oxygen tank without the use of a regulator. Not something I recommend you try at home. On that note, I shall see you again very soon. I believe my next challenge will be doing a skydive on Mission Beach, which is just south of Cairns on the east coast of Australia. And until then, I shall leave you with the skipper.